the Niners were 2-4, and then they went up against a really banged up, bad Bears team. And now they may get another break this week. That's why the NFL is so interesting, and you really can't just predict what's going to happen like you can in like basketball. You really have to see it play out week to week and see which guys get hurt. How are you looking at the near future for the 49ers in terms of what they're facing from their opponents?
Well, we already know, and I touched on this when I was in the Silverado yesterday or the other day. He may potentially face the Cardinals with no Kyler Murray, the Cardinals with no J.J. Watt. He may potentially face the Titans with no Derrick Henry, the Vikings with no Daniil Hunter. Maybe the Seahawks with no Russell Wilson, but Russell Wilson might go out there on one leg if he need to. So
he might.
I mean, but this is just
9 fingers. Yeah.
So he has some, or whoever the quarterback is, definitely has some pluses on the upcoming matchups. I mean, so do it against the Cardinals, man. I want to see that same performance against the Cardinals. You see what I'm saying? And I will give Kyle some credit. His play calling, I had to make sure it was him calling the plays on Sunday. Like that 4 receiver set we saw. I was like, yo, where'd that come from? Run that more.
That's right.
So I want to see it Sunday, man. I want to see it Sunday. And the schedule already, in terms of the teams we're playing, was already favorable. But now with all these injuries, is I mean, now some other team feeling our pain. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Absolutely. Right. I mean, I was starting to think the Niners were the only team that had these problems, and then. I mean, the Cardinals are kind of going up in smoke, which is what a lot of people said about them when I picked them to go to the Super Bowl. People were like, oh, really? AJ Green, JJ Watt, they're going to make it through the season? I was like, yeah, well, no. And even Kyler, this is the thing about Kyler. When he's healthy, he's as good as any quarterback in the league. But he's now gotten hurt 2 years in a row, and he's little. And it's hard to expect him to make it through the year unscathed like, Josh Allen does,
right?
Patrick Mahomes does, absolutely. So the Niners definitely this is a good time to face the Cardinals.
Exactly,
even if Kyler plays.
And a great time to go 4-4. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a great time to get back to 500.
Right. And we don't know what's going to happen to the Rams. They got to play a game this week. We'll see what the Rams can bring to the 49ers the week after. We'll see.
Right.
I mean, Matthew Stafford tends to get dinged up once a year that he plays through it. But I'm just saying, these things happen.
Honestly, on defense for us, Grant, if we go ahead and shore up that run defense for one and stop giving away yards and DPI calls, other than that, the defense is playing okay. You see, other than the DPI calls and getting cut up in the run game. I know that's two big things, but those are two things you can
and the lack of turnovers. I'll put 3 on that one. Lack of turnovers.
Okay, I'm glad you said that too. Yes, we have a lack of turnovers, but like I asked the other day on the Real Talk podcast, my thing is I asked the question: what's in terms of points in a game flow? There's one thing better than points, and maybe I asked the question it was kind of obscure, but I'm just giving you the answer to my question. The only thing better than points is points off turnovers. That's the only thing better than points is points off turnovers. Because if you don't, you end up getting bitten.
Spoken like a true defensive coordinator. Like, don't waste time.
For real, I'm telling you.
We just hooked you up. Do something.
I've been there.
Do something. And it better not be
how
3.
frustrating it is. Yeah,
absolutely. That's a good call. Anything else on your mind for this weekend?
I just want Jimmy, man, all that confidence he had last week. I don't care who the opponent is. If you're gonna be out there and play like that. I mean, like I said, I really don't want to write another good Jimmy versus bad Jimmy article. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't. Of course. So I mean, just hey man, go out there and do your thing. He had 2 rushing TDs. Of course, it was Chicago, but still, I don't. Grant, did you see? He just seemed more like he took a shot at Moxie at halftime.
You know what the Moxie was? Oh, I'm not going to get hit today. That's Jimmy when he realizes that his offensive line is playing well and the other team has no pass rush, comes out looking like Aaron Rodgers. It's like, oh, I'm gonna hold the ball. I'm gonna make some off schedule plays. Yeah, absolutely, man. But when you get hit a few times in the first quarter, jittery G comes out. He does.
Jittery G, I like that.
Because he knows that he really can't protect himself on a football field. He's gotten hurt a lot of times, including just a few weeks ago. So he got into the flow of that game. Was like, oh, I'm not getting touched today. We got this. So that's good. But we'll see if the Niners can do the same thing against the Cardinals. We'll see. And then the Rams the week after that. Aaron Donald, Von Miller. It's going to be, The Niners really lucked out that they didn't have to face Khalil Mack. Really lucked out.
Yes, yes,
You know,
yes. So
I know, but they won.
so we gonna see.
We
What you
gonna
gonna do,
see.
Jittery? What you gonna do?
Yeah, that's right. And there's more things too. I mean, the Niners are in an interesting spot where every game is kind of feels must win. And so you got to use Debo, Kittle, and Elijah Mitchell as much as possible, but they're all injured. And ideally, if they were, 5-2 instead of 3-4, you'd be really dialing back their usage because it's a long season. So it's
You
like,
can't
what
afford
is
to.
the balance there? What is too much and what is not enough? Because if you really dial it back, you could lose a game that you should win. Like, for example, week was it 5 when they lost to Arizona? Elijah Mitchell had 9 carries. That, in retrospect, that looks like a misuse of talent. Maybe if you give him 14 carries, you win or something, like, you know what I mean? So I don't know. What do you do there?
It don't look
What's
like it
the prudent
is.
way to use them?
It's funny, man. I actually spoke to via text. I talked to Hasty Father this morning. Just
Oh,
texting, went back and forth. I had a few questions for him, but Hasty, use him differently,
Hasty.
use him better. You know what I'm saying? Like, why we running with Hasty on third or in short yardage?
Yeah.
You're smart
Yeah,
enough
I
back.
don't.
You give it
He's
to Hasty.
just the third down back. Mix him in on first and second down, and also mix in Jeff Wilson Jr.
I mean, because he can boogie too. I like
Yeah,
Hasty. You know what I'm saying he
yeah.
had a nice little catch over the middle. He made a nice catch and got a good chunk of yardage. So
He's
I mean,
explosive to the perimeter. If you want to run those toss plays, he can run those on first and second down.
use them better. Exactly, use them
Yeah.
better. And this way, I don't know how you feel about Sermon, but don't just use up Mitchell like that. Yeah, I know he's getting you yards and all that, but preserve him a little bit. He got backs up. They're sitting right there. Sermon right there.
Right.
Hasty right there, but just not on short yardage.
The Niners were always so careful with Raheem Mostert. I mean, they gave him 29 carries in the NFC Championship game, but other than that, it was usually like 10. Off the bench,
Right.
10 carries, you're fragile. Elijah Mitchell, since the day he started, the first day in the NFL, dude, we got to give you 18, man. Like, what? He's only 200 pounds. He gets beat up. He's very violent. I mean, he runs hard. He's not avoiding hits. He's getting nice. He's had a shoulder injury, a rib injury. Come on, man. Mix it up. You got other guys who are good. Mix it up.
Well, Jeff Wilson coming back soon too, so hopefully
That's
that'll help as well.
Really important. It's interesting. The Niners are getting healthier. Gold coming back. Kittle coming back. Maybe this season they could actually finish strong as opposed to 2019 where they came out 8-0. That's what happened in 2019. They started strong.
Now, how you start is how you finish. You know what I'm
it's
saying?
It's how you finish. Okay, so you started 2-4, but I don't know. I just not necessarily confident that Debo, Kittle, Mitchell make it through the year. That's what I'm trying to say here. Like, Debo really extended himself to beat the Bears. What was the consequence of that?
You spread the use out. You spread the use out. They'll be a lot better off.
They got to. Yeah.
And this is my mindset, and I also said this on Twitter as well. Moving forward, if it's me as the DC or Kyle, whoever it is, I'm like, look, man, we got 9 more one-game single elimination games. That's the way you got to see it. Every game is a playoff game. You got to see it that way, bro. You have to. You got to get in your head. We lose, we're going home. I mean, I know it's not.
And I think that mentality goes over to the coaching staff, and it's why Debo's getting the ball so much and Mitchell's getting the ball so much. It's like, yeah, I mean, we could give the ball to Trey Sermon, but frankly, we don't trust him. And there's way too much at stake right now. I think that's probably what he would say, Kyle, if he was being honest.
Well, now let's be honest about Debo right quick in terms of him getting the ball. That's if Kittle wasn't there, it'd be Kittle too. So Debo, Jimmy really only trusts Debo. So that's why he gets the ball.
That is true.
The game is a coach. I was there in that damn monsoon, and I watched it with my own 2 eyes. Debo triple covered, and he's still trying to get the ball to Debo. I'm like, man, come on, man, find somebody else. So I'm not saying that what Debo has been doing isn't great, because it is, but they're going to him so much because that's where Jimmy goes. But that screen pass was for him. But Jimmy looked for 19 before he break the huddle.
What a coincidence that Jimmy, Kittle, and Debo all have the same injury. All of them. It's the calf. It's the year of the calf injury.
You know what? Yeah,
they all do. Last year was the year of the high ankle sprain. This year it's the year of the calf injury. And as teams don't really say it, but when they say calf injury, that means calf/Achilles. It's scary. It's very scary for players. They're connected. And if it's sore there, it's probably sore a little bit on the top of your Achilles too. And that's why players are like, I don't know, like, is this about to go? And if you're George Kittle and you're 250 pounds, you're scared about that. I'm almost 30. This hurts. if I push this too hard, am I going to wind up like Richard Sherman did at the end of his 20s? So this is really serious. These are cornerstone players. Well, not Jimmy, but the other two are cornerstone players for the 49ers. And while this is while this is, week to week must win games, you also have to consider the future too. I mean, unless you don't see Debo and Kittle as parts of your futures, but they're also assets, right? If they're not guys, you already committed to Kittle. This is your future. I don't know. You got to think about it. It's got to be part of the equation.
Find a way to reduce the wear and tear. Like I said,
as soon as Debo's calf goes, the season's over, man. It's over.
Yeah. And like I said, man, I know it's a division opponent, but look at the Cardinals and the way they go ahead and spread the ball out. I mean, come on, man, just spread it out.
Yeah. It says, do these players not stretch? It's not that. It's what Kyle Shanahan said yesterday. Like, these are very fast big men who have a lot of explosive G-forces in their tendons when they run. Think about it. Like, you can get really big like Kittle and Debo and be 215, 250, running 4.4s, 4.5s, but your tendons and ligaments don't get bigger and stronger. So those people just put more stress on those body parts than, someone like Marquise Goodwin, who runs a 4.3 at like 170, It's the way it is.
And
the accumulation of running over time with age, it's just going to happen. It comes for everyone.
Wear and tear. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yep. All right, man. Well, I got to get down to Santa Clara. This was a bit of a quickie today, but we'll be back again in the future. Kev's got some time. Always looking forward to talking to you, man. How you doing? Good. This was a good show.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm glad to be here, brother. I appreciate you.
Final thing I got to ask you before we go. Buster Posey, Hall of Fame, yes or no?
You know what? Yeah, man. Why not, man? I'm saying, I like Buster, man. He's the only Buster I like is Buster Posey. You know what I'm saying? I like Buster.
What other Busters are there?
Posey. Buster Scrime, Buster Douglas. But yeah,
he was in the Niners for a minute this year. It's true.
Yeah, for like 15 minutes.
Kyle needs to get back to rotational running backs. It's strange that he's not doing that this year.
Who said that? Yeah, thank you. I mean, what's going on?
It's very strange. Yeah. I don't get it. Last one. Shreddy Murphy says, I think Trey will come in against Arizona if Jimmy struggles, or is Shenanigan going to make us take the L? I'm with you on that. I think we said this. If it's bad at halftime, I think we see Lance.
Man, I wouldn't put out the pass of the fact that, Trey did damn well against Arizona last time.
Right, because everyone knows what Trey looked like against Arizona. If it's worse than that, people are going to want to see him. Yep.
If I change the game plan, so I don't know though. It may or may not happen. But yes,
let's go tinfoil hat conspiracy theory. All right, the 49 Trey Lance was hurt, but the Niners held him out of that game for a lot of reasons. One, to get him 100% healthy, but two, so that if things went bad for Jimmy Garoppolo, as they did against Indianapolis in the rain, that there wouldn't be "We Want Trey" chants on national television at home, because there were boos. They booed Kyle Shanahan off the field. So the Niners avoided that at home. We're not going to let that happen. But you know what? That could happen in this game.
Yeah.
That could happen the week after against the Rams. They're going to be on national television against the Rams, and Trey Lance is healthy right there. So the fans could start calling for it at halftime if they're down 10, 7. So, I mean, let's see what happens. If the fans want it and the Niners are losing, it's easy.
Exactly.
And there was that report from Rappaport saying, look, they wanted it to be like a Mahomes, Alex Smith situation, but it's not that. And they know they're going to have to give it over to – you remember this? Before this was on Sunday.
Yeah, no. You do.
So the latest report is, look, the Niners are open to making the transition. And Jimmy basically has to keep showing that he's the best, that he keeps the Niners in contention. And as soon as the people lose confidence in that, whether it's his teammates, the fan base, all bets are off. Yeah.
I'm telling you, Kyle, give me a reason. You know what I'm saying? So
it seemed like Kyle was basically saying that to him before halftime. Hey man, I'm not benching you now, but you got 2 minutes, you got the ball.
You got one
Give
more
me a
time.
reason, baby. Don't make me bench you in front of your family. Don't make me do it. Because I'm crazy. I'll do it. Look at me. Look at my face. Tell me I won't do it. I don't care.
Man, I watched the show the other day, man, when you talking about the conversation they had on the sideline. He said, can you run this, man? Yes or no? Because it's simple. It's simple
The
stuff,
quote
bro.
that I heard was, "This is simple shit. Can you do this?" But again, I don't know if he was talking about the previous drive or what he wanted to do in the upcoming.
It don't matter. You talking?
It don't matter,
starting
right?
Quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, like Mike wouldn't have talked that way to John Elway or Steve Young.
Right,
He would never have said those words. That's what he thinks. It's a simple shit. Can you do that? That's what he thinks of Jimmy Garoppolo. But again, honestly, that tells you what he thinks of Trey Lance too. The fact that Jimmy's playing over Trey and that's what he thinks of Jimmy. Oh, Kyle. Still searching for the one he loves. You know what I mean? He's like, Jay, you watch Seinfeld? Seinfeld just instantly dislikes every girl he starts dating for the pettiest reasons. That's Kyle. Every quarterback is like, well, it's got man hands. I just can't. It's got man hands. Right. Sorry. His laugh. I don't like his laugh. Yeah. I don't like his. All right.
Any little reason for it not to work.
Any little reason. I'm on to the next. And then when Tom Brady hits you up, like, let's do this, you're like, sorry, I got Jimmy. I'm sticking with Jimmy. Yeah. I don't like Jimmy, but I'm sticking with Jimmy. Oh,
I don't even want to get into that. Like,
imagine Kyle having Tom Brady and going up to him and saying, "This is simple shit. Can you do this?"
Hey, excuse me? Right? What?
Pardon?
Hey, man, listen, man. If I would have got that call about Tom Brady, Jimmy, we need to lock it, bro. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, but yeah, man. I thanks for having me on, Grant. Man, it's been a minute.
Okay. Yeah. This was great. On.